There are moments in history that forever reshape what we think is possible. July 20, 1969 was one of them. A world held its breath, watching flickering black and white images transmitted across 240,000 miles. And then humanity heard the immortal words, "That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind." That single footprint, pressed into the silent gray dust of the moon, was more than the mark of one person. It was the imprint of a nation, the embodiment of the American dream. A dream built on boldness and an unshakable belief that tomorrow can be better than today. It was the spirit that had carried pioneers across continents, and in that moment, it reached for the stars. Decades later, the Voyager 1 spacecraft, as it hurtled out of our solar system, turned its camera back for one last look and captured the pale blue dot. Earth was just a tiny point of light, a humble reminder of our shared fragile home. From the triumphant victory on the moon to the profound humility of looking back at Earth, our journey into space has always followed a dual path. One of national ambition and one of shared human enlightenment. Today, we stand at the threshold of a vibrant space renaissance. But the question remains, why space? Why pour billions of dollars into reaching distant worlds when we have so many problems to solve right here? The answer is this. Continued investment and leadership in space exploration is not just a scientific endeavor. It is vital to maintaining America's global leadership. It is the engine that drives the technological innovations that shape our lives. It is the foundation for a future economy. And it is the flame that inspires the next generation to dream even bigger. We will journey back to understand our pioneering legacy, analyze the dynamic landscape of today, and chart the ambitious new horizons that await, proving that the greatest investments in the stars always yield the greatest returns right here on Earth. America's journey to the stars was ignited in the fires of competition. On October 4, 1957, the simple beep-beep from the Soviet Union's Sputnik 1 satellite sent a shockwave across the United States. It wasn't just a scientific achievement, it was a wake-up call. The Sputnik effect was born, compelling America to act. In response, NASA was formed in 1958, and President John F. Kennedy issued a historic challenge in 1961 to land a man on the moon and return him safely to the Earth before the decade was out. It was a bold, almost impossible goal, but it rallied the will of an entire nation. The Apollo program was born. Its scale was staggering, involving over 400,000 people. It spurred massive advancements in computing, materials science, and telecommunications, while re-energizing the nation's STEM education. After the painful tragedy of Apollo 1, the nation's resolve was only strengthened. And finally, in 1969, Apollo 11 succeeded. America had kept its promise, proving to the world its can-do spirit and extraordinary technological prowess. The post-Apollo era brought new icons of exploration. The Space Shuttle program became the reliable workhorse to orbit, deploying critical satellites and building great structures in space. One of its most famous passengers was the Hubble Space Telescope. Launched in 1990, Hubble became humanity's eye on the cosmos, delivering revolutionary images of starbirth, black holes, and the accelerating nature of our universe. Meanwhile, the twin Voyager probes, launched in 1977, conducted an epic grand tour of the outer planets and are today the only human-made objects to have entered interstellar space. Gradually, competition gave way to collaboration. The International Space Station is the brightest testament to this shift. An engineering marvel led by the US and Russia, the ISS is a global laboratory in orbit where astronauts from around the world live and work together for common scientific goals. It symbolizes the transition of American leadership from confrontation to cooperation. This legacy, from the first footprint on the Moon to the International Laboratory in orbit, is the solid foundation for the space renaissance we are experiencing today. In the 21st century, the space landscape has changed dramatically, fueled by a dynamic wave of private sector entrepreneurship and innovation. This is a uniquely American success story. At the heart of this revolution is the rise of commercial space. Companies like SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Rocket Lab have rewritten the rules. SpaceX in particular achieved the impossible, developing reusable rocket technology. By successfully landing the first stage of its boosters after launch, it drastically reduced the cost of access to space. This wasn't just a technical feat, it was an economic revolution, democratizing access to space and creating a vibrant ecosystem of space startups. The rise of the private sector has also reshaped NASA's role. Instead of doing everything itself, NASA has become a savvy customer, partnering with commercial companies to ferry cargo and astronauts to the ISS. This frees NASA to focus on its core mission, pushing the frontiers of deep space exploration. NASA's current focus is the Artemis program, an ambitious effort to return humans to the Moon, this time to stay. With the powerful SLS rocket and Orion spacecraft, Artemis aims to establish a sustainable human presence, including landing the first woman and the first person of color on the lunar surface. Further afield, on Mars, the Perseverance rover is hunting for signs of ancient life, while the Ingenuity helicopter proved that powered flight on another planet is possible. Every rock sample collected by Perseverance is part of a bold plan to bring Martian samples back to Earth for the first time in history. Meanwhile, the James Webb Space Telescope, a U.S.-led engineering marvel, is peering back to the dawn of the universe. With its ability to collect infrared light, JWST can see through cosmic dust to witness the birth of stars and the formation of the very first galaxies after the Big Bang. Its images have stunned the world, opening a new era in astronomy. However, the modern space landscape also features new competition. China's rise as a formidable space power, along with the dynamic programs of India and other nations, creates an environment that is both competitive and collaborative. This underscores the need for the United States to continue innovating to maintain its leadership position. This renaissance is a complex tapestry of business, science, and geopolitics, and it is within it that our next chapter is being written.
As we look to the future, what was once science fiction is now becoming an engineering roadmap. Our generation has the opportunity to transform humanity into a multi-planetary species. The immediate goal is a return to the Moon through the Artemis program, but with a different mindset: to build a sustainable infrastructure. This includes the Gateway, a space station in lunar orbit, and the use of in-situ resources. The discovery of water ice at the Moon's poles is a game-changer. Water can be split into hydrogen and oxygen, breathable air, and rocket fuel. If we can produce fuel on the Moon, it becomes a gas station on the interplanetary highway, making missions to Mars and beyond far more feasible. And Mars is the ultimate prize. Establishing a human outpost on the Red Planet would be the greatest achievement in the history of exploration, an insurance policy for the long-term survival of our species. In parallel, a new space economy is booming. It is no longer just a cost, it is a colossal economic opportunity. Space tourism is now a reality. Satellite constellations like Starlink are providing global internet. Future sectors like asteroid mining for precious metals and in-space manufacturing promise to create entirely new industries, projected to grow to over $1 trillion in the coming decades. But perhaps the most compelling question that drives us is, are we alone? The search for extraterrestrial life has become a rigorous scientific discipline. The James Webb Telescope is analyzing the atmospheres of exoplanets for biosignatures.
Closer to home, future missions will explore the ocean worlds of Europa and Enceladus, moons with vast liquid water oceans beneath their icy shells, considered the most promising places to find life in our solar system. The discovery of life, even microbial, would fundamentally reshape our place in the cosmos. Amid all these bold plans, the practical question remains, why spend money on space with so many problems on Earth? The answer is that investing in space is one of the most effective ways to solve problems right here on Earth. The most tangible benefits come from technological spin-offs. To solve the challenges of space, NASA has invented countless technologies that have entered our daily lives. GPS, medical imaging like CT and MRI scans, advanced water filters, fire-resistant materials, and even memory foam all trace their origins to space research. Investing in NASA is investing in an engine of innovation that benefits all of society. Beyond technology, the more profound benefit is the impact on people. Space exploration has a unique ability to inspire. The Sputnik effect drove a generation into STEM fields. Today, we are witnessing an Artemis effect. When kids watch SpaceX rockets land or see the stunning images from the James Webb Telescope, a spark is lit. By setting bold goals in space, we ensure that we will have a future generation of scientists, engineers, and innovators. On the world stage, leadership in space is a powerful tool of soft power. It demonstrates American technological prowess, a cooperative spirit, and a commitment to knowledge for the benefit of all humanity. This builds alliances and showcases global leadership peacefully and inspirationally. Finally, there is the profound philosophical benefit known as the overview effect. When astronauts see Earth from space, they see a fragile, brilliant blue and white orb without borders. This perspective fosters a sense of shared responsibility for our only home. By reaching outward, we learn to appreciate what we have here. The answer to why space is because it gives us the technology, the inspiration, the leadership, and the perspective to build a better future right here on Earth. America's journey in space has always been a reflection of our deepest national character, a people who are never content with the horizon. From the bold legacy of Apollo, we have entered a new space renaissance, driven by a partnership between government vision and private sector entrepreneurship. The future beckons with plans to return to the moon to stay, to place the first human footprints on the red soil of Mars, and to build a thriving economy beyond our atmosphere. We must remember that this journey is not a choice between exploring the cosmos and improving life on Earth. The two are inextricably linked. The same spirit of innovation needed to survive on Mars is the spirit we need to thrive sustainably on Earth. As we stand at this pivotal moment, space exploration is not a luxury, it is a necessity. It is the expression of our restless, inquisitive human nature. It is a testament to our belief that the best is yet to come. The next frontier is calling. It demands courage, investment, and vision. For the sky is not the limit, it is only the beginning.